1. And we are recording.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo! That's how you start. You start with a woo.
Woo!
Yeah, here we are. Seamus Stackpole and Anton Bug O'Cullough. Look at him. Look at him, folks. How could you not love that face? Well,
very easily, apparently, according to all my fucking exes.
Yeah, you give people reasons. So, this is hard to beat with Seamus and Anton. Anton, would you care to explain why this show is called Hard to Beat?
So basically, I've had a very strange couple of months, a lot of big decisions. I am now single after 2.5 years. I have also, my lease is up in my flat, so I've relocated from downtown Crumlin to, well, I would say downtown Donegal, except Donegal doesn't have any towns big enough.
Yeah.
So I am back living at home as a 37-year-old single gay man, which is all my life dreams are coming through. And after the breakup, I was just kind of I'm trying to put it as eloquently as I can, but whoring all around me, I think would be a fairly good description. So yeah, for the last couple of months, I've just been writing, and it's really made me think, I have a very unhealthy relationship with sex, which I already knew. So I've decided to set myself a wee challenge to try and kind of break that habit. So it's going to be 90 days. I'm going to give up sex, masturbation, or any sort of self-flagellation, and just seeing if I can make it to 90 days, essentially.
But like, it's not just that you're like trying to see if you can make it just for the crack. It's like, it's not just an arbitrary challenge, and it's not just 90 days because that's a nice round number. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, it's the guy, Terry Crews from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He got addicted to porn, and he was sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that, but it's he got addicted to it, and his wife.
Sorry, imagine if you were Terry Crews' penis. I would be terrified to see that gigantic muscular arm coming for me. I feel like, no, please.
It's like, why is he a sex addict? It's like, I have opinions on this. Yeah, so basically he was saying that he had to give up. So he did it for 90 days because his wife found out how much he was spending on porn. And, she kind of twigged that there was a problem there. So he went 90 days, and he said it was great for him that it kind of reset his brain. And that's kind of what I want to do as well, because it's just like me, like generally gay guys, it's much easier to have sex. But when you're this good looking as well, it's just like, I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. You've frozen. I wonder what like. Oh, you're back. You're back in the room.
We froze a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying.
Like, I just powered on through. No, I'm just saying, like, gays generally can have sex a lot easier. But, like, I was saying with somebody as good looking as me, it's just like, I'm pretty sure I got cruised on my beach this morning by somebody.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was a northerner, so it didn't count. But still, still the fact that there could have been something there. So, yeah, I just kind of want to reset the brain and, like, not be as kind of weird as I am about sex. Like, sex is really important to me, and it shouldn't be. Like, it should be a great thing that kind of strengthens part of a relationship. It shouldn't be the whole relationship,
So you're using these 90 days to basically change your mind, essentially. Like, you're going to be 90 days without sex, without masturbation. Those aren't going to be part of your day-to-day. You're not going to be using them as kind of like a go-to measure for socializing or as a crutch when you're feeling bad or anything like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very much that, because that's what it has become as well, and it's like, I don't need, like, I shouldn't be my life be kind of ruled by my genitals, essentially. I should be making good, clever thoughts for myself that are really good, that are good decisions, as opposed to me just kind of going, I feel a bit sad today. Like, do you want to deal with the sadness, or do you want to go have a wank? It's like, I'll go have a wank. Like, that shit needs to.
Yeah.
Are we frozen?
No, no, no. We're not frozen. We're not frozen. We're not frozen. And as well, because like, it's not just that you're saying that you're not going to wank or have sex for 90 days. Like, this is something that we're actually going to be actively monitoring. Like, we're not going to be just, we're not leaving it up to you to be honest. We know that you're a very honest person, but we actually want to make this a bit rigorous.
Rigorous, yes. So what I've actually done, before I left Dublin, I went to Harvey Norman's in Tala, and I bought myself a Fitbit Versa 3. Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So the reason I bought that is because I want to kind of measure my exercise. So I have been doing I want to get fit as well, because I put on a ton of weight with COVID. But as well, this measures heartbeat. So if I am doing anything, it'll be easy to see. Now, that doesn't mean it's a perfect system. I've had this about 3 or 4 weeks, and I've woken up in the morning some days and it's like, oh, right, it said my heart rate was really high when it wasn't. But it's like, if I'm doing exercise, I'll put up pictures. If I'm, I will kind of let people know, right, this is what I was at, and this is why the heartbeat was like that. So, so it's like, I'm going to be honest, but also this is kind of like a fail safe as well, to make sure that I'm actually being honest.
But as well, it's a good incentive to sort of replace the bad habits of sex with better habits. Like you said, you do want to get fit. You said that you'll be exercising more. So it's not as if you're just going cold turkey and you're cutting out the sex and just having a void in your life. You're going to fill that void, but not in a sexual way.
I'm going to fill that void as tough as I can. I'm going to fill it up to the top. Penis! Sorry.
No, not allowed. No penis allowed.
But it's even like, I was in Letterkenny on Saturday. I had sex twice. Like, in Letterkenny, just kind of randomly happening. And it's like, I didn't want the second.
It's just like, you're walking down the street, you're walking past a hardware store, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, oh, my trousers are off, his trousers are off. Like, how do you just incidentally, like, did you go there with the express view to have sex, or?
No, it's kind of, no, the first one was kind of a bit prearranged, but the second was completely spontaneous. And I was literally...
These are two different people.
And I had to... But like, the only reason the second one happened is because I didn't realize there weren't as many buses home. So like, I had 3 hours to kill. So I was just kind of walking about and it's like, oh, you'll do. And it's just like, it's such a shit attitude to have, but it's like, it's honest. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it is what's going on. So yeah, I need to just like, ironically knock that on the head. The best thing about this is that everything is a double entendre. Everything, like any sentence.
But I suppose, because like I've never just walked around the town and been like waiting for a bus and then just had casual sex with a lady, I mean,
because I was going to say that our time.
Because like, I think like the way I would relate to that is, if I wasn't feeling particularly hungry and I was bored and I saw like a really sort of, not saying that the person you had sex with was cheap, but like a cheap restaurant where it's like, I don't need to do this, but I want to kill some time, and just eating something unsatisfying, and afterwards you're like, that wasn't actually satisfying. I didn't really need that. I didn't really want that.
Yeah, it was like the sexual version of going to Subway is essentially what it was. With less pedophilia.
But the same amount of meatballs.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, you can choose a 6-inch or a footlong.
I'll just go in and get one of their finger sliders. It's great.
Lovely stuff.
Are people still listening?
He is honest. Like, he will say anything.
But it's not anything out of, well, I mean, I suppose it is partly shock value, but it is, because as well, we were talking about this, and we don't want it to be a thing that people listening to this are like, we don't want incels as kind of people. Like, this is just because it's an unhealthy habit. It's an unhealthy habit that I've developed over years of kind of not dealing with my feelings really well and being incredibly hot looking. So this is kind of like the perfect storm of just shithousery, and I want to deal with it. So that's the reason I'm doing that. But as well, it's like other people I don't think would kind of talk about this. It's like in Ireland we have like alcoholism is perfectly acceptable. You know, like people like if you're like we're getting to the stage now, drugs like gambling and like sex porn addiction, they're not talked about at all. It's kind of like, oh, you're getting the ride too much, are you? Oh, what a fucking problem! Oh, boo-hoo you! And it's like we shouldn't think like that. So I'm hoping that like people might take inspiration from this, but we are not we're not incels. We don't want anyone to join American Al Qaeda. We don't want anything like that.
Yeah, because it's not like this no fap challenge and all that sort of stuff. This is about like you taking time to reset so that when you do engage in sexual activity again in the future, you're in a much better place.
Yeah.
And it's more healthy. It's less addictive.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of it's not so much as a compulsion as a healthy part of the relationship.
Yeah, 100%. And as well, we are tracking it. That's to keep you honest. You are honest. We've already established that by the things you've said out loud. But like, if there is an instance where you do slip, because like we're saying this before, you're saying like pretty much nobody believes you can do it.
Not one person. Not one person. Not like nobody. Nobody thinks I can do it, and I understand. And it's not. They're not bad people. They're not supportive. They're just realistic and like, you know, like I've not gone without sex for like since I left Donegal. I would say it's probably been like maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like tops. You know, top.
And you said like that since you left Donegal. How many years ago would that have been?
Like 18 now.
18 years. So in the space of 18 years, your longest fallow period has been like no longer than a fortnight.
Pretty much, yeah. Like
it's like basically the amount of time that you've gone without sex is about the amount of time that like the average block of cheddar cheese lasts in an Irish family's fridge.
Exactly that. Like once I see the cheese like beginning to get to the expiry, it's like, oh shit.
I need to gobble this up.
Yeah, so so it's just it has been, it's just been too much, and I kind of know it. And like when you step back, I suppose like all the life things that have happened have made me go, okay, now is time to get my shit together. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, like we say, there is going to be a forfeit if I do not like if I slip up in any way. I'm going to give a donation of €100 to my local church at home, which will be terrible for me because I fucking hate them with an absolute passion. So I really do not want to do that. So that will be kind of the forfeit for me. So 100 quid, like, which I do not want to do for two reasons. One, I don't want to give any money to the Catholic Church. And two, I do not want that rec centre to get a ping pong table. I'm against those kids getting all the time down there.
Fundamentally dead set against the ping pong table.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's going to be the main thing. But it's and today is actually the last day. Like I start tomorrow, June 1st, and go for 90 days, which brings me up to August 29th, I think I worked out. So yeah,
we should explain to people like what happens at the end of the 90 days or what's coming up.
It's like Dublin will be like, it'll be like the end of the Poseidon Adventure. Just like, oh no, get away from it.
I was more so talking about your London trip, but I guess if you want to talk about how you're going to turn into like the Trevi Fountain.
That is too highbrow a reference for me, but I'm laughing so I don't look uneducated. Yeah, so at the end of it, I'm supposed to, a friend of mine has invited me to London, and it just happened to coincide. So my last week will be the ultimate test because I will actually be in London amongst the English who, in fairness, like after the last 800 years, I want to take out all my frustrations on them anyway. So
yeah,
with 90 days.
But it's like, you know, rural Irish gays go to Dublin.
Yeah.
To feel accepted. And then like if you've gone to Dublin, the next step up is to go to London.
Yeah.
So it'll be sort of, you know, the it is pretty much the LGBTQ mecca for Ireland and England.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, do you know in the Crystal Maze when they do the bit with the rappers and have to get them in at the end? It'll pretty much be that, but for gays. It's essentially.
There we go. There we go. And then, of course, like obviously, I want you to succeed, but this would not be fun if there was not an element of risk, of temptation.
No.
Not that we're leaving it up to chance, but like we actually want people who have watched this and who have listened and who've engaged with like the Twitter account and everything.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want to shout out the Twitter account as well?
It's hard to beat 5.
Hard to beat 5.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned the title up at the top that it's hard to beat.
No, we didn't.
Oh, we did.
You're very good. You're on it, Seamus. You're fucking on it.
There we go. Topping and tailing. Have it at the front, have it at the back. Say it 3 times.
That's what's led me to do this.
Yes.
All the time.
But people are allowed to tempt you. Like people are allowed to engage with Twitter.
Because, like the big thing that I've had before, see, like I'm a comedy writer who has no career, so I'm in front of my laptop like an awful lot, and I've had this before where I've put apps onto my laptop. I've done everything to try and kind of not tempt myself, but I'll be on Facebook and then I'll see somebody's put up like, you know, a picture of a good looking fella, and then I'll look at that good, and then it spiraled, and it's important to me that it's kind of realistic that, you know, it would be great if I could get rid of the laptop and, you know, write with pen and paper, but I can't do that. So I have to learn how to live with temptation on my phone the whole time. So Seamus is absolutely allowed to do whatever he wants to get me to break. So whatever devious, evil plans that you have, that I'm sure you do, because it's like, it's no good if I'm not tempted. And I, you know, it's kind of like when people go to rehab, it's like you're away from all the temptations, but when you come out, like you could potentially slip up because you're not used to being around. So I want people to tell me if they feel comfortable as well. This isn't a very elaborate way of me getting nudes either. Like,
yeah, you don't need any help in that arena.
No. So yeah, so that's why I want to kind of do it that way. So yeah, if anyone wants to try and tempt me, whatever, we potentially could read the best messages, whatever, on air. Yeah. So just be okay.
If it's a really good elaborate sext, I will read it out to Anton in either the most boring monotone I can manage, or in like the most Shakespearean way I can manage, whichever will be the funniest.
You could never be boring, so I think Shakespearean all the way.
Oh, there we go. That's it, folks. If you want to hear me reading a sext to Anton that you've composed,
did you not read out the James Joyce? Was it James Joyce? James Connolly? You read out the...
Yeah, I read out a section of James Joyce's Dirty Message for my friend Ian last year. Actually, that was good crack.
That is burnt into my memory. Like before I go to sleep at night, it's just that line of like, oh, it's the one about all the big wet farts that she does. It's like, it's fucking disgusting.
Oh yeah. But essentially, you won't even be allowed to read James Joyce's letters because they'll be too tempting.
I mean, that's it. Like big woman wet farts is it's where I fall down.
Yeah.
So so pretty much in summation, that's it. It's 90 days of me not having any sex, not masturbating, not doing anything. It starts tonight, goes on till August 29th, and if you want to tempt me, feel free, because if I do, the local church will get 100 quid. Is pretty much.
There we go. And we'll be doing this on a weekly basis. This is kind of like AA, but I don't 100% want you to succeed. Like in my heart, I want you to succeed, but it'd be funnier if you didn't. So we'll be doing this on like a weekly basis. We don't know how long the episodes will be. They'll vary depending on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But, you know, people can come along with us on your journey.
I'd rather if they didn't come along, but yeah.
Don't come along. Poor choice of words.
We want you to masturbate wildly with us. What? Oh my God, what did I say?
People are like, this is a terrible piece of pornography, but okay, I think I'll just, stroke away.
It's like, why is Jesus talking dirty to the Weezer album? What is going on here?
Great current reference there to the Weezer album.
Rivers Como, that's a guy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Unless there's anything else you want to say or anything you think.
Oh, I do want to say one thing. You said like people think that you can't make it.
No.
I think that you can make it the 90 days without sex. I don't think you can make it the 90 days without having a wank. You know, you're just going to be there one night and everybody will be gone to bed. There'll be nothing to do. And you're just like, what is my own personal entertainment system?
This is true, but it's funny since like I'm home about a week and it's like I did do a trial run of a week already just to kind of see like if I could, and it was really weird. Maybe it was the thing I knew this is coming up, but it was quite sexist, and I didn't feel tempted at all. And I think it's maybe it's like, oh, I'm back in my family home, and you know, like there's family back, so it didn't bug me as much as I thought it would. But that's not to say 63 days in, you know, it's like 4 a.m. and I can't sleep because I'm actually like up tented the entire time. But
you're like a car on a jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that as well, considering I'll be doing more cardio as well, and as everyone knows, like the more cardio you do, the worse it is. So yeah, we will see. I'm confident. I believe in myself, and I think I could do it. No one else does, but I mean that's fine, and that's based on them knowing me. You know,
yeah.
I can't get mad at people for thinking the obvious thing. So I'm gonna give it my best shot, and if I don't succeed, that's fine too. You know, like I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I think I can do it. I'm going to give it a lash, and yeah, fuck it. If you feel like listening along with us, well, we'll be here every week so that you can see how well I'm doing or how terribly I've died. We'll see.
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to die. You have to get to the end of 90 days.
Yeah.
But yes, it'll be great if people could follow along and show support, or not show support, but you know, try and derail you in a massive way. Yeah.
Yeah. In fairness, like these are all great suggestions. Yeah, so we will leave it there, and yeah, if anyone's got anything, feel free. It's hard to beat 5 at Twitter. And if people want us, we can set up Instagrams and stuff. But for the time being, I think the Twitter will be plenty.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so unless there's anything else to say. No?
No, I don't think so. Well, we'll just say goodbye like Irish people and go bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, toodaloo.
Bye-bye, bye-bye. Oh, bye-bye.
All right, see you later.
Bye.